All right, let's take a look at this, right? A storage room contains a table, two bookshelves, and a large mirror. If the table weighs, right, we have a table weighs 37 pounds. Each of the bookshelves weighs 42 pounds, and the mirror weighs 18 pounds. Okay? All right, let me make my marks a bit smaller. All right. All right, perfect, perfect. All right. So first of all, we have two bookshelves. It says right here, right? Two bookshelves. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, right? Two bookshelves right over here.
84 pounds.
Yeah, it'd be 42, and we multiply that by what? By 2, right? Exactly. 2 times 2 is what? 4. 4 times 2 is what? 8. So we have 84 right there, right? And then, okay, we have the two bookshelves. Now we have to add a table, right? And a table and, yeah, a mirror. The table right here, it says it weighs 37 pounds, right? So we're going to put 37 right over here, right? And right over here also the mirror. The mirror was what? 18 pounds right over here. Exactly. What's 8 plus 7? Could y'all tell me?
Sorry, I don't have my 15.
Exactly. And we carry the 1 right over here, okay? Exactly. Now 8 plus sorry about that. We have 8 plus 7, 15, right? We carry the 1. Okay, 3 plus 2 is what? 5. Now we do 84, right? We do 84 plus 55 right over here. 4 plus 5, 9. 8 plus 5,
13.
Exactly. So our answer right here would be 139. Right over here. Questions? Anybody questions? Okay, let's go ahead and go on to number 2. All right. Maricela, could you read us number 2?
If a number x has an absolute value of 4, then how many units away from 0 is x on the number line?
Exactly. Right here, they're mainly talking about, right? Yeah, they say absolute value, and units away from 0 is on the number line. The number line is a key word. Okay, when they're talking about number line, they're talking about, yes, they're talking about a number line like this one right here. On this side, on this side would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, right? 6. Let me just leave it at 7, right? Right here would be -1, -2, -3, negative, let me do that a bit better, -4 and -5 right over here. All right, just remember, okay, when numbers are positive, it goes to the right. Like when you get paid, your paycheck, it's over here, it's in the positive, right? When you owe money to the bank or when you owe somebody money, it's negative. I don't know about y'all, but one time I went on a date with a girl back in my young days, back when I was broke in college. Yeah, I took her out to a restaurant. I didn't have money, but my debit card, it still charged my bank, right? And then my bank sent me a letter that I was negative, right? Negative means you owe money. Okay, but right here is the best way to look at it. Look at it like money, okay? If a number x has an absolute value of 4, it means it has a value of 4. It can be -4 or 4, it does not matter. But the absolute value of it is 4, okay? You don't count it as a negative, you always count it as a positive, right? It could be a -4. The absolute value of 4, -4 will still be 4. It could be 4 over here. The absolute value of 4 is still going to be 4. Absolute value means that the number it is, right? Right here, what number is it? 4. Just worry about the number and that's it. You don't worry about anything else. Right here, then how many units away from 0 is x on the number line? Indicate your answer in the box right over here. Okay, so we have it right over here. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at this right over here. All right, we're at 4. Let's go ahead and say we're right here. And then how many units away from 0? Count with me, everybody. 1, 2, 3. What is this?
3, 4.
Exactly. It's that simple. The only terminology that they use here to try to confuse you is absolute value. Right? If x, let's just imagine x is right over here. Let's imagine x right here. X is 4. Right? We start right here. And then how many units away from 0? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect, right over here. Okay. Now let's go on to number 3 right over here. Number 3. Right, number 3. Could you read it right here for us? Let me go ahead and see. Go ahead, Stella. Can you hear me, Stella? Right. What about Sterling? Go ahead, Sterling, if you could read this one right here.
What is the sum of 2/3 and 1/6?
Exactly. Right. In reading fractions, you said it perfectly. 2/3 and 1/6, right? You can also say 2/3 and 1/6, or 2 divided by 3 and 1 divided by 6, because the line right here, right, of the fraction, it means division, right? 2 divided by 3. If you look at it simply, because I know a lot of times when people tell them, hey, put this in your calculator and calculate it, like, what? Yeah, it's 2 divided by 3 or 1 divided by 6. But you said it correctly. You can also call it 2/3 or 1/6. Exactly. Let's go ahead and keep on going right here. Right? The key word is right here, sum. What do they mean by sum? Does that mean add, subtract, multiply, divide? Someone tell me.
Add.
Huh?
Add.
Exactly.
And
Add.
Exactly. Like in Spanish, sumar, right? Sumar. Sum, right? Okay. What is the sum of 2/3 and 1/6 right over here? Okay. All we do is add right over here, okay? All right. I'm going to show you all 2 ways. The manual way and, the way in the calculator, okay? Because there's a 5 problems that you have to work on your own, right? And then 5 problems that you have to work on your own, and 35 problems that you get to work with your calculator, okay? But let's go ahead and go right over here, okay? 2/3 plus 1/6 over here, okay? All right. Perfect. We're adding them up right over here, okay? One thing that I kind of wanted, I'm going to put in your notes over here, right? When you're adding or subtracting, let me put that a bit better. When you're adding or subtracting fractions, right? When you're adding or subtracting fractions, you always look for the common denominator. Right, exactly, okay? So the sum of 2/3 and 1/6, right? You're adding or subtracting fractions. You look for the what? Common denominator. What do you look for when you're adding or subtracting fractions? What do you look for? Common denominator. Repeat that to yourself every time and you'll easily remember that, okay? We're adding fractions right here, right? So we look for the common denominator, okay? A little bit more note over here, okay? In a fraction, the number on top is called the numerator.
On the top.
Yep, exactly. The number on top is called the numerator. The number on bottom is called the denominator. Exactly. So we're looking for the common denominator. We're looking for a common number in the bottom of the fraction, right? The first thing you do is you see if which number goes into which number. Does 6 go into 3? No. Does 3 go into 6? Yeah. Right? So the common denominator will be 6, remember. Okay? We're going to put this right over here. And I just wanted to put on a note. If these numbers did not go into each other, you can easily multiply them. 6 times 3 is what? 18. They both go in 18, right? If you do not see that they go into each other, just multiply them. Or you can also like do multiples of, right? 3, 6, 9, right? 9, 12, right? 15, and then 18, right? Same thing with 6 right over here. 6, right? 12, what number? 18. They both go in 18. You could have used 18 as a common denominator, or you could use 12 as a common denominator, right? But let's try to go with the smallest number, right? 6, right? You could easily just look at them like that, right? 6 cannot go into 3, but 3 can go into 6, right? So they both go into 6. Or you can multiply them directly. The other way is you multiply them directly. 6 times 3, 18. They both go in there, right? The third way, if one cannot go in the other, right? Neither of them can go in the other. You can multiply, right? But the third way is just do multiples of. Do the multiples of each number, and when you find the smallest number that they both go into, you use that number right there. Okay, but I'm gonna erase this right here. There were extra notes, right? Don't worry. I just don't want to confuse you here. We'll go over that a lot. But right here, we did it the simplest way, right? We looked at one number then the other and see which one going to which one. And yeah, right over here, right over here, yes, they both go into 6, right? 3 goes into 6 how many times?
2.
Exactly. So we multiply by what?
2.
Exactly. If we multiply the denominator by 2, we also have to multiply the numerator by 2 right over here. 3 times 2 is 6, right? What's 2 times 2?
4.
Exactly, 4. And we're just bringing down the other number down. And this right here gives us 5/6. Write this down right now, please. Write it down.